Okay, so let's take a look at the first problem. The first problem is about the left hand limit. Okay, so x approaches 2 from left hand side, and we can see the y value approaches this point. Oh, the curve approaches this point. This point has y value that is -1. Okay, this point has y value is -1. Second problem, right hand limit. That means x approaches 2 from right hand side, and the curve approaches this point. And this point has y value that is 2, right? So how about the limit of this guy? This left hand limit doesn't equal right hand limit, right? So that means doesn't exist, okay? And the F2, how to find the F2? You can draw the vertical line, try to figure out whether there is a solid point. Solid point is here, right? This 2. Very straightforward, right? Let's try to find the problem 3. I will talk about the odd number of the questions, okay? Odd number of questions. So x approaches 2 from left hand side. So x approaches 2 from left hand side. And the curve approaches this point, right? This point has y value that is 2, right? And x approaches 2 from right hand side. And the curve approaches this point. And this point has y value that is 3, right? Oh, sorry, this is 3. Then we're gonna check these two one-side limit. These two are not equivalent. So that means doesn't exist. F2, you're gonna draw the vertical line. There's no solid point, so it's undefined. Okay, that's it. It's a very straightforward, right? Now let's try problem 5. Problem 5 means x approaches 3. X approaches 3 from left hand side. And the curve approaches this point. This point has y value that is, let me check. I think it's 1, right?
No, remember 2 to me is 1. Well, let's see, that's 3. The dice on 3 though.
It's 3, right? 2, 1.
Is 1? 4.
Yeah, I think it's 1, right? Did you guys get it? Right here is -1. My answer is -1. Let me check. My answer, oh yeah, it's correct. It's not a -1. It's 1. Okay, it's 1, right? Because the curve approaches this point. This point has y value that is 1. So right hand limit is the same point, so it's 1. Because these two are equivalent, the argument is 1. F3, we try to draw a vertical line. You can find out a solid point here, so that is 2. That's it. Very straightforward. Question 4. Or question 7. X approaches -2. X approaches -2. The curve approaches this point. This point has y value that is -4, right? Oh, X approaches -2 from right hand side, sorry. It should be 4, 6 points, right? Right hand side, that means this approach this point. This point has y value that is 4. From left hand side, that this guy is -4. So since these two are not equivalent, that means it's undefined, doesn't exist. -2. So we draw a vertical line, and we found the solid point is here. So that means it's -4. Right. So the principle gonna be the same. And for the problem 11, problem 9, should be C. You just need to check the condition here. F2 is -1, -1. You find out that F2 is -1 point. Okay. So since this defined here, so this is not correct. -1, 2 is -1. This is not defined. It's defined here, so it's positive. So only this guy is divided on -1. So the vertical line and the solid point here is -1. So the answer should be a C. Okay, it's very straightforward. Problem 11. Problem 11, 2 steps, right? 2 steps. You're gonna draw the graph, right? Draw the graph. The breakpoint is 0. Let them is 12 plus x greater than. Okay, so x approaches 0 from right hand side, right? From right hand side, so that means you're gonna plug in 12 subtract x equals 12, right? Plug in the x equals 0. Similar from left hand side, you're gonna plug in this guy, it will give you 12. These two are equivalent, so that means 12. And the F0, you need to go back to the original function, which function include the 0, the first one, right? So plug in 0 here, should be at 12, okay? Problem 13 is very similar. You still need to draw the graph, right? The breakpoint is -2, less than -2 is this guy. Right? Now, x approaches -2 from right hand side. So that means this equation, we're gonna use this equation. Plug in, we're gonna get -2 plus 2 equals 0. Square root of 0 is 0, right? X approaches -2 from left hand side, right? So we have this guy. Plug in equals 4, right? These two are not equivalent, so it should be doesn't exist. And -2, which one is including -2? None of them. None of them include -2. That means it's undefined, right? B, okay, B. Does that make sense? You're gonna check which piece function include the -2 or the equal sign for the -2. Which one? None of them, right? Okay, the last one is very easy. I think the problem should be very easy. The only thing is I wanted you guys to get familiar with the proctor. Okay, I don't want you guys feel uneasy about the proctor because it's the first test that is proctor. So I will give you guys much easier questions for the test too. For the final exam, as I said before, it's comprehensive. It's much tougher. Okay. So for this guy, x approaches -3. -3 is here, so we approaches -3 from right hand side or from left hand side. This guy is from the curve is positive infinity, right? This guy approaches right hand side. You will find this is negative infinity, right? Negative infinity, the curve always goes down. Left hand side, the curve always goes up, right? So that means these two are not equivalent. The answer should be a B. Okay, does that make sense? Okay.